Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Saidamin A. Ibrahim. I'm going to discuss to you. My topic here is the title is Anthony Wallace and Ferdinand Braudel. Anthony Francis Clark Wallace was a Canadian-American anthropologist who specialized dalubhasa in Native American cultures, lalong-lalo na especially the Iroquois. His research expressed an interest in the intersection of cultural anthropology and psychology. He was famous for the theory of revitalization movements. Wallace was born in Toronto, Ontario on April 15, 1923, and was the son of the historian Paul Wallace and his wife, a British national. After attending school in Annville in Pennsylvania, he enrolled into Lebanon Valley College in 1941, where he studied French Canadian folklore and later the oral literature of the Iroquois and Lenape. A year later, Wallace joined the Army Specialized Training Program at the University of Cincinnati and studied electrical engineering there for 1 year. In October 1944, he was assigned to the 14th Armored Divisions in southern France, where he remained until the end of the war in 1945. After the war, Wallace returned to his studies and earned his BA in History in 1947 and an MA and PhD in Anthropology in 1949 and 1950, respectively, from the University of Pennsylvania. It was during 1947 studies when he published his first article entitled Woman, Land, and Society, the aspect of Aboriginal Delaware life, and following its success, joined the Department of Anthropology after reading The Golden Bough by James George Fraser. During his graduate studies at Penn, Wallace was a student of American ethnologist Frank Speck and when professors Alfred Irving Hallowell, Lauren Esseley, and Ward Goodknapp joined the faculty. Wallace became their student too. Okay, so ibig sabihin, pagkatapos ng gulo, bumalik pa din si Wallace sa pag-aaral. Then nabanggit dito yung mga naging guro niya. For his MA in 1949, Wallace wrote a thesis about Tejos-Kung titled A Psychocultural Analysis of the Life of Tejos-Kung, a Delaware Indian, 1700 in hanggang sa 1763, which was published same year under the title King of the Delawares. His PhD thesis was entitled The Model Personality Structure of the Tuscarora Indians, as revealed by the Rorschach test that appeared 2 years later in the Bureau of American Ethnology Bulletin. While completing his PhD, Wallace was already married to Betty. Okay, pinakasalan niya si Betty and already had 2 children. At ang kanilang mga anak ay si Anthony and Daniel. Immediately after graduation, Wallace started to receive positions after offer from University of Wisconsin and Yale, but due to his family ties, turned them down in order to remain in Philadelphia. Pennsylvania. His decision was also justified by the fact that he already was an instructor at Bryan Mawr College, positions that he was truly enjoying. The previously obtained PhD allowed Wallace to hold numerous part-time positions at the University of Pennsylvania, where in 1955 he became Senior Research Associate at the Eastern Pennsylvania Psychiatric Institute, at which place he later became the Director of Clinical Research and served as such until its closure in 1980. From 1955 to 60, Wallace served as research associate at the institute and visiting associate professor in the Department of Anthropology at Poem, following which he was appointed Director of Clinical Research at the University of Pennsylvania. A year later, after reading culture and personality, he abandoned that position in order to become full-time professor and chairman of the Department of Anthropology at Penn. At the age of 40, the Wallace family began adopting children from Korea, bringing their family to 6. From 1965 to 66, he taught primitive religion, one of the courses on the anthropology of religion. It was during this time when Wallace wrote Religion, an anthropological view, and became a mentor to future anthropologists Raymond D. Fogelson and Richard Bauman. During the late 1960s, Wallace shared an office with fellow anthropologist Greg Urban at University of Pennsylvania Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology. He was elected as a member of American Philosophical Society in 1969. Around 1971, Wallace, after finishing his term as department chair, he became an author of such books as Rockdale and St. Clair, which were awarded Bancroft and Dexter Prize in 1987 and 1989 respectively. Ibig sabihin, yun nga, gumawa pa rin siya ng libro na ang title nun ay Rockdale and St. Clair. Then in 1980, he became the first Geraldine R. Segal Professor in American Social Thought at the University of Pennsylvania, and 3 years later became Professor of the Department of Anthropology at the same institution until he retired in 1988. Yun nga, nang ma-retire siya noong 1988, he served on the board of the Research Foundation of the University, that faculty editorial committee of the University Press, and the Ethnohistory Committee. After his retirement in 1988, Wallace returned to the study of Native American culture. Okay, bumalik pa rin siya sa pag-study niya ng Native American culture, writing such book as The Long Bitter Trail, Andrew Jackson and the Ancient 1992, and Tuscarora, a history in 2013. A decade before the publication, Wallace's wife Betty, with whom he planned to move to western New York so that he would be closer to the Tuscarora reservations, had died. He died on October 5, 2015 in Ridley Park, Pennsylvania, where he had been residing.